The second periodical database we'll be exploring in this unit is called JSTOR. JSTOR is different than any of our other databases because it includes only scholarly articles. Recently they added scholarly books, but for our purposes we're just going to look at scholarly articles. JSTOR is not quite as intuitive to use, but it gets the job done. And again, if you get direction to only use scholarly articles, JSTOR is a great place to go. The drawbacks are sometimes the journals are a year or two behind. In most cases that won't matter. It's also stronger in the humanities, languages, social sciences, behavioral sciences, those areas other than straightforward physical and theoretical science. So for those we have other databases you can use. So to get to JSTOR, once again we have options. We can go to databases by subject or A to Z list. In this case, I'm just going to go by subject. And again, we see it here under General All Topics because it is one of the best databases for covering many different discipline areas. Okay. You'll notice that JSTOR comes up with an advanced search right away. That's because scholarly articles are highly specific, they're technical, and so you want to be as specific as you can. So I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of this advanced search. We will cover advanced search in the next unit. Let's say I want to look at minimum wage and living wage. What's the difference between the minimum wage and living wage? And I might also want to add poverty. Now before I hit search, I want to scroll down and narrow down to just articles. We don't want book reviews, we don't want books at this point, or research reports, or pamphlets, or miscellaneous. We don't want any of that, just looking for scholarly articles. Narrowing down by date range is a good idea because we really don't need articles going back to the early 1900s about the minimum wage. So let's say I'm just interested in the last 10 years. So I'm going to put in 2007 to 2017, so that's 10 years. There is one other way to narrow down your search, and that's by selecting a discipline area. For example, I'm talking a lot about economics. So if I click on economics, it will pull in all these journals. Now, I might want to do that or not. I might be interested in some sociology and some other issues, so I'm not going to click any of those yet, but I might go back and do that later. So click on search. Okay, so that's from 2007. That might be of interest, so I can go ahead and click that article. You can set up a list. You have to log in, create a login using a Google account or some other email, but you can create your own account in JSTOR where you can save all your articles so you don't have to download them to yourself. I will download that in just a second, but I want to point out two things. One is looking at the topics: living wage, minimum wage, standard of living. These are all really good keyword and keyword phrases that you can use if you want to refine your search. So again, before I click download PDF, JSTOR also offers to do your citations for you. That was very kind of them. So here is MLA. So again, I can copy and paste that into a works cited list. I do have to make sure it's correct. And I'm looking at it. The only thing I see that's a little odd is having JSTOR in there twice. So you could take that out. You'll also need the stable URL, which is this. You take out the HTTP part. So I copy that into my works cited. I make sure it's double spaced with a hanging indent and make sure it works. Okay, so let's look at how we download the PDF. Waiting. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's the actual article. I want to download it. Before I do that, I do want to point out, make sure you know what you're looking at here. Here is the title of the article, the author, the source, which is the name of the journal, the volume, the issue, the year, and the pages. And then again, the stable URL is what you'll need. So I often change the name so I can find it again. I usually change it to the author's last names. You can do it any way you want, and save. Okay, so we have saved in JSTOR. Let's go back to our search results. So that's just a really quick overview of JSTOR. You're going to have an opportunity to practice that in some of this unit's assignments. Okay,